Hi, my name is Roxanne D'Angelo from Crystal Clear Energies Academy, and I'm here today to talk to you about space clearing. This is a topic that still a lot of people don't really know what that means. So let's first start off with what is energy? Everything is energy, be it our words, our thoughts, our actions, our emotions. And our energy field, what happens is when we have a thought, feeling, an emotion, that energy field is exuded out of us and it surrounds our space and then comes back to us. So we're putting out to the field, the universal field, and it's coming back to us. Whether we're at home, we're at work, we're shopping, we're out to a restaurant, everything is energy. And let's face it, there's a lot of people in our world and a lot of energy. So if we focus just on your personal space, let's go your personal space. We'll talk about your home. So in our home, most of us have, either family members, and we may be by ourselves too. But in general, we're thinking about things, we're speaking on the phone. We might be working from home, may have family members, and we're communicating. And it's not always great. Sometimes there's arguments. Sometimes there's a lot of friction between family members. Maybe there are family members who may be ill. Maybe there's a family member that maybe has passed away in the house. So, or how about this? Someone comes to visit you, and their energy field is not quite in resonance with yours. And you don't feel so great after they've left. Or perhaps you had an outside worker come to your house to do some plumbing or electric, and their energy field was kind of dark and heavy. So that energy is still around us, it's in our space. And if we have an overabundance of too much of one type of energy, for instance, if say there's a lot of arguments in a home, that energy, it's a lower, denser vibration, will start to permeate the walls, the ceiling, the floors, the electric, the plumbing. It permeates everything because, again, it's energy. And over time, if it's a very low dense energy, low dense vibration, that could actually affect us. It could affect us mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So the way most people will know if their place needs to be space cleared is maybe they're feeling stuck. They just can't focus. Their decision-making process is not clear, and they're just kind of feeling off, saying, you know what, I think it's time that we need to do some space clearing. Think of it as this. When you have, say in your home, there's a lot of clutter and you decide to clean up. You clean up the clutter, you put things away, you organize, and you start to feel a shift in energy. You feel lighter. Or the kids have a lot of stuff laying around, so you kind of pick up your stuff. And once they do, again, the space feels lighter. So this is an example to teach you to be mindful of the energy that's in your space. I can also tell you there have been many times where I have seen just visually passing by different restaurants and stores and places of business that have within a year's time repeated, their businesses had closed down and new businesses opened up, and it's over and over and over again. That tells me that there's something going on energetically within that place of business that needs to be cleared. Once again, talking about energy, space clearing to a regular layperson that doesn't understand this is not the easiest thing because, again, you can't see energy, this type of energy, you can feel it. And you have to be mindful of it. So be mindful of what's around you. I always suggest that if there are a lot of arguments in the home, to space clear on a regular basis. Places of business should be space cleared at least once a month. And if it's an office type of place where maybe it's a therapist office, where you were doing body work on people, definitely working on clearing the space much more often. As far as energy healing in regards to working on clients, I clear their energy a different way using a method that I've learned through my Reiki practice, which is angelic binding symbols. And I clear the energy of the client before I work on them because their energy can jump into me. And this is another thing that a lot of people don't realize is when they're doing, if they decide to do their own space clearing, you have to be mindful to not incur any of that energy, that low dense energy into yourself, because that can happen if you don't know how to protect yourself properly. And there are cases when sometimes it's you need to call a professional in because the energies are a little bit too advanced and to understand that it could really hurt you. So just being mindful of that. So this is just the tip of the iceberg on space clearing, and be mindful of the energy in your space, and whatever you're putting out is coming back to you, your family, your pets. So be mindful of sending as much love as you can out into the field. And we'll talk again.